So we went to go camping a couple months ago, turned on the, went to turn on the furnace right before we left on the trip, and the fan would come on, but it wouldn't ignite and run, and it was too cold, so we just used space heaters. It was a last minute discovery, and I've been waiting to figure out what's going on. So I already pulled this apart. I'm trying to look at what could be going on in here, and I've checked a couple things. One of the common issues is this sail switch right here, that when the fan runs it kicks up. Well, if the sail switch is fine, tested continuity on that. So if you have a tester and put it on your continuity setting here, and then on mine you can switch it so it beeps when there's continuity, and just get a real good connection on both of these terminals, and when the switch closes you should hear a beep like that. This also, if you look at the schematic on the side, that comes through this limit switch back here as well. Before it goes into the module board, I'm going to check the limit switch back here. The red wire coming into the module board is the limit switch. So I'm going to see if I can get in here and test continuity there as well. So we're going to put the red lead on the red wire terminal here, and then check continuity. Okay, that tells me that our limit switch isn't bad either, because we have continuity all the way from ground to that red wire. There's another test we can do here. Let's see, it says it goes through the red and blue connection here. That's this one on this time delay relay. Blue on that goes down to the thermostat, and then red runs up through all those switches over to red here. So we're going to try that one more time. We're going to test continuity. I already checked my fuse inside, and I've got good voltage there. Alright, so we're going to put this here, and yeah, we have continuity the whole way through there. So I don't think that either of those switches are the problem. Something else I'm going to test is my voltage here. I want to make sure we're getting power to our board. The module board gets power when all those switches are closed. So let's hook this back up. Our propane is not hooked up right now. If you unhook your propane, make sure you turn your propane off. Our propane tank is right in here and it's off. I'm going to go turn the thermostat on heat. It'll start running, and we're going to see what we get for voltage here. All right, thermostat's on. We have power here. So let's see what we have for voltage at our switch here. DC volts. And we only have 10 volts. So that's probably our issue. You need at least 10.5 volts to run this. So we got to find out where we're losing voltage. At the fuse, we have, I believe, 12.7 volts. So we're losing voltage somewhere. Okay, where are we losing our voltage? We're in the relay. Let's see what voltage we have to our motor. We got 11 volts to the motor. There. I'm kind of wondering if this little relay is the issue. On this blue and red terminal up here, we should have plus 12 volts. We have 11 volts. So I don't know why we're losing that much voltage. I'm gonna go turn the heater off and we're gonna try something else. All right, we're gonna test voltage to where the power comes in, which is the red wire coming in at the top here. Okay, now we're showing no. Probably got to turn the thermostat back on, so I'm gonna go try that. We should have power here. Okay, we got 12.6 volts, which is exactly what we should have. I think we have a continuity issue in so we're gonna test our resistance in this. Tell you what, I think we're gonna pull that thing out of there if I can figure out how to do it. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is mark this upper side with a little X here. so that I know which side goes where when I go to put it back together. Nothing like going to put something back together and not being able to remember which way it goes. So it snowed since the last time I worked on this, and it's a lot colder than it was, but it's running. Got it fixed. So I did not take you on the whole trip because I tested all kinds of things. I pulled apart my converter box inside. I pulled apart thermostats. I couldn't figure out, I was getting voltage drop right here and I couldn't figure out what that was. Finally traced it down to the circuit board that's right back in here. And the circuit board in the furnace was bad, and that was the problem. So I bought a Dinosaur Electronics circuit board on Amazon and put that in, and it's up and rolling immediately. So I got a couple things to finish up here, and we can put everything all back together, and so far so good. It's running great. One note about the Dinosaur Electronics, it's a nice upgrade on this older furnace because last season I had some batteries that weren't great, and so we went camping when it was cold and tried to run the furnace, and when the batteries got too low, the gas would shut off, but the fan would just keep running. And so I woke up in the middle of the night and the fan was running really slowly because the batteries were depleted, but it was still trying to run. It was just blowing cold air all through. And so with this board, if it fails to light or if it were to go out, if the voltage were to drop, it'll shut the fan off as well. And so this adds fan control. That's what these two new wires here are for. They take the fan control from the relay and run it through the circuit board, and that way it can turn the fan off if something fails. It also has a retry, so if it fails, it'll retry in an hour. So it does a three tries. If it quits, then it'll wait an hour and then do 3 tries again, and then if it fails, it'll lock out and you have to turn the thermostat back down and up again to try again. But anyway, a good upgrade on the board, and that was the problem. So hopefully that helps.